Rightly so. I mean, ketones are a very vilified, misunderstood part of the body, and to my great delight, it's getting a sort of new appreciation.
Well, I'm currently on the keto diet as well, so I am incredibly interested to understand A, like what's going on in my body, but B, I'm quite compelled by both the pros and cons of doing it. And I want to
Hmm.
talk about the cons and the pros
Hmm.
because they both exist. One thing you say in your book, Why We Get Sick, is that the longest living humans are also the most insulin sensitive.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that the longest living humans are the ones that are able to stave off that insulin resistance
Yes. Yeah.
and
So
like
there
keep
are.
keep their insulin levels lower.
That's right. Yeah. In fact, most of the longevity research, was sort of a final point on this, is that when you look at these studies that look back in time and say, okay, what is it about these people? What variables tend to go along with the longest lived humans? One of them is that they're insulin sensitive and their blood glucose levels are, in fact, a very well done study just last year out of Sweden. I think it was just 1 year ago. They looked at all, and Sweden is meticulous in its record keeping, which is an advantage in a fairly homogeneous society, so it kind of eliminates some confounding variables. But they attempted to document what were the variables that were just the most consistent theme of people who lived very long. One of them was good glucose control. And this next one is very controversial because they found that the longest lived people had high cholesterol levels. And isn't that funny? It is one of the most consistent themes of longevity research that the longest lived people have higher cholesterol. And yet we live in a world that hates cholesterol. And the moment cholesterol goes up, we put them on a cholesterol lowering medication. We could be doing the perfectly wrong thing to help these people live longer. So that was, and then low uric acid, and there's a handful of other little variables that fit into this.
Sorry, they found that some of the longest living humans had high
Yeah,
cholesterol levels.
that's right. That's what the Sweden study found, for example. The paper just published a year or so ago. What were some of the most consistent themes? They had good glucose control and high cholesterol. I'm a great defender of cholesterol. It is a molecule of life. And it's so much depends on it. Mitochondria, for example. Mitochondria have to have a cholesterol molecule in them in order to work, like the very powerhouse of the cell. And the more you lower cholesterol through, say, drug interventions, the more you compromise the mitochondria. The sex hormones, all sex hormones are built on cholesterol. It's no surprise if someone takes a cholesterol lowering medication, their sex hormones go down.